What is your name?
Rudy C. Long, Long.
When and where were you born?
I was born in Gastonia, North Carolina, down near Charlotte. I moved to Albemarle when I was 5 years old, and that's where I grew up.
What was it like for you when you were young?
When I was young, it was during the Great Depression. Have you ever read about it? Mm-hmm. Well, it was bad, very bad. Not enough to eat. And I got old enough to join the Navy. And that's when I started eating good.
How old were you when you went into the military, and what do you do?
I was 17. And I went into food service and learned how to cook, and as well as a lot of other things. Went through a lot of basic training, combat training. We all did. And I took my training in Camp Perry, Virginia. And we were there like 9 or 10 weeks. Upon completing it, we boarded a train and went all the way to California. It took us 5 days and a night. And once we got out there to the Seabee base, we checked in, and we were there for another 8 weeks. Excuse me. Okay.
How did you get into the movies?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. Each CB unit consisted of what they call CBMU, Construction Battalion Maintenance Unit, and there was 21 of them. Each unit made up of 286 men. Well, upon graduating, they had a parade, like, on the parade field out. And each unit competed against one. So it come time for us to compete. We won first place, and that was an honor. And they told us that we'd be making a movie called Fighting Seabees. So we traveled to the northern part of San Bernardino Valley, which is near Hollywood. And up there, we began setting up camp. We set up airstrip, and they trucked in 3 fighter planes, Navy, and in one scene in that movie, these 3 planes took off. That was it. Then we had to undo what we already did by picking up all the metal pieces on the airfield that held that plane, keep it from sinking down, you know. They were locked together like this. So we stacked all of it on trucks and trucked it back to the base. Then we came back out and they began shooting scenes with John Wayne, Dennis O'Keefe, Susan Hayward, Grant Withers, and that's about the size of it. And we did our job right up there in the mountains. We had to feed them. John Wayne, he left to join us in the chow line, you know, and he would feed mashed potatoes. That's what he liked to do. He would take a big spoon of it and hit it over the pot and just plop into your tray. Other than that, we had fun though.
What was Hollywood like for a soldier?
Hollywood was a lot smaller back then. And today it's spread out for miles and miles. But I spent a week's convalescent leave down there in Hollywood because I had ruptured my right side. I jumped off the back of a truck, full pack, rifle, and the whole bit. And I could walk down Hollywood and Vine and see all the stars in the sidewalks, you know. But now you go for miles looking at that stuff. It's a long time ago, 1943. It was in December, week before Christmas.
Which wars were you in?
World War II and Korea.
Can you tell me some of your interesting experiences?
Well, after we made the movie, in January, we boarded ship and took off to the South Pacific to a little island called Tarawa, which is a small island in the Gilbert chain. The Gilbert chain is just south of the Marshall Islands, if you look on the map. And that's where we spent a year and a half. And it was tore all to pieces. The little islands, the Marines had went in and took it. And they did a great job. It's amazing.
What was the name of your ship?
The USS Midway, number 41,
What kind of ship was it?
aircraft carrier, 1,001 foot long. We carried a total of 4,000 personnel to operate that ship.
How many airplanes could the aircraft carrier hold?
I'd have to say about 80. The wings are folded up. Fighter jets, you can pack them in there pretty good.
What kind of experiences did you have?
We toured the Mediterranean quite a bit. And when you go through the Straits of Gibraltar, I couldn't believe what I was seeing if you were on what we call a sponson deck, where you can look out over the ocean. And the Mediterranean continuously bumps against the Atlantic. And it's amazing. You can see it. The Mediterranean blue, Atlantic green, and it's just bumping like this. They say it's really hard to maneuver through it, but it only lasts about 200 yards, they say. I saw that and I couldn't believe it. Another time we ran into a dead whale on the bow of the ship. Like this is a bow, it was just draped around it. The captain announced, we're going to have to stop. So he stopped the ship and backed off so it could sink, you know. Then he started it back up. A couple hours later, he came over the PA system. He said, I want all of you to know that what it costs to stop this ship and crank it up again. $25,000, counting the fuel. But there were a lot of things. We had Miss World from Italy to come aboard while we were in Naples. And she came aboard and had lunch. It was another time in Greece, a little town called Salonika, right on the very south end of Greece. They had a big storm come up, tore their power lines down. It was just pitiful, you know. Looked like a hurricane had hit. And we pulled in there and tied up. And the captain, he went ashore and stayed a pretty good while. He came back. He ordered all the cables over the side so they could hook up and get electricity. And we gave it to them until they got it restored. And that was quite a thing.
Where is your ship today?
It's in San Diego, tied up out there, and it's a museum now. And my son and his wife, they gave me and my wife a trip out there 2 years ago to see it. I never thought I'd see it again, but there it was, same old ship. I took her aboard, took her down in the galley where I worked, and showed her where I slept. And you sleep like this, one here and one here, one up here, you know, 4 high.
When and where did you meet your wife?
I met my wife in you won't believe this, but first grade of school. I sat 3 seats behind her. We went through school and all till I went to service and came home in 46, and we got married, had 2 children, boy and a girl.
What do you do in the senior games?
I love to do the senior games. I didn't do any last year because I was sick. But hopefully this coming year I'm going to continue. And I play billiards, bowl, running long jump, standing long jump, the disc throw, the disc, do all that. Climb the wall. I climb a little ways up, not too.
What are you most proud of?
Well, to be alive, I guess. You know, it's just life is just a big bowl of cherries. Just take it a day at a time. But I put 39 years and 2 months, counting my National Guard time. And you see, when you get 60 years old in this state, you have to hang it up. That's the end of it. You can't, be in it anymore.
What kind of rifle is that?
This is Japanese 31 caliber rifle. It holds a clip of 9, counting 1 in the barrel. Got a sharp bayonet. Feel that. I found this on the island of Hayward.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
You're mighty welcome.